It's time for a little Sunday fun day at the Salvation Army in St. Paul. Mike Beaton with you once again for MBL regular season action. Michiana Magic wrap up their Minnesota weekend trip against the Minnesota Broncos. Both teams 2-2. Broncos winners of their last two and can move above 500 with a victory today. Michiana fell to the Minnesota Bulldogs 149-117 in a game where offense reigned supreme. The Broncos have a few changes in their lineup. About half the team has been swapped. We don't exactly have the free agency and trade regulations that we do in the NBA, but talked to Newton Williams for a little bit prior to the game, and he said there were some personnel changes, some guys who maybe weren't taking it as seriously as they should have. A couple of faces you may remember from last year on the Bulldogs side, Decoy Hines and Rashad Rainey. They are 2 of 7 players who are suiting up for the first time this season for the orange and black of the Minnesota Broncos. 2 of them will start, George Alhag and the aforementioned Decoy Hines. The others, Trey Freeman, Pierre Fulford, Jose Garcia, and Jeff Richter. We talked to a couple of them before the game. We will air those interviews during our halftime block. Sunday afternoon basketball. First Sunday after daylight savings time, but that's okay. It doesn't matter what time it is in the gym. It's always game time, even when it gets dark. Starting lineups, Michiana making a change after Trey Dockery injured his right leg or ankle. He won't be available in this game, so it's Marquise Davis, Blake McCoy, Tyon Cruz starting in his place, Lasell Davis, I should say, starting in his place. Tyon had that 39-point performance last night, and Alex Thomas, keep an eye out for number 12. If he has a good game, Michiana has a chance for the split. The Broncos will start Eric Chu, George Alhag, Reggie Rogers, Darian Thomas, and Decoy Hines. Decoy and Dekai both were on the Bulldogs roster a year ago, and they'll be facing off against their old squad, presumably on Saturday. We're back here, 4:45 start time. We hope to see you then if you're watching this on the TSB Television YouTube channel. Minnesota wearing the black, Michiana wearing their blues again. And they're wearing the same uniforms as last night, so I have to wonder if they washed them overnight or if they took a page out of Charles Barkley's book, as we get a foul just a few seconds into the contest. If they took a page out of Charles Barkley's playbook and took a shower with the uniforms on. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go look it up on YouTube. It was during a studio segment a couple years ago, the NCAA tournament. It was a true piece of hilarity. Michiana stepping out of bounds. Alex Thomas pinched off by the double, and you got to be mindful of that sideline, half-court line, end line, pretty much anywhere that would mark out of bounds or backcourt violation, because they can act as extra defenders. Quick set and a touch three for Darian Thomas to get us started. Broncos gone off to a slow start. Michiana going inside. A foul on the shot. And the aforementioned Tyon Cruz will shoot 2. Tyon, 39 points. Michiana went to the line a lot. 27 of 37 last night. I don't have their season numbers, but I do have their game numbers from last night's contest. For reference, and with the Broncos, again, half the team is new, so you have to run through the acclimation process all over again. And a quick sub for the Broncos, Johanna Ochan. He is one of the early figures who has that dependability, reliability. The noisemakers are out. And Tyon Cruz takes the split at the free throw line. That gets Michiana on the board. Michiana, one of the top 10 teams by ranking entering this weekend. Bulldogs number 2, Broncos not in the conversation yet. Ochan goes baseline for the finger roll. Broncos could get there. Depends on how they do against their in-state rival on Saturday. LaSalle Davis gets bailed out with a foul call, although he was able to connect with Tyon Cruz on the escape. Side out. Michiana, more quick passing. Baseline J is short. McCoy going for the steal. Michiana with a high-risk, high-reward kind of defensive bet. And it will result in Alex Thomas taking another trip to the charity stripe. Already the third foul for the Broncos in this quarter. Only 1 minute and 27 seconds has gone by. Alex Thomas gets the friendly bounce. He had 16 points. Against any other team, Michiana probably would have played well enough for the win, but their defense was practically non-existent against an all-around attack from the Minnesota Bulldogs, a team who is undefeated and an early candidate for championship contender. 5-3. Here is George Alhaig, and he throws it away. Miscommunication on the route. And I see Michael Wright up there all by himself on stage. Well, for him, the world is a stage. Right now, we are staging a timeout with 10:20 left in the first quarter. 5-3, Broncos over Magic.
It's more than just BBQ, it's family time. Ella's Smoke Till Ya Choke. Perfect for your Saturday.
(5-3) the score. Michiana with a couple of defensive plays on the Broncos of Minnesota, but it's still early and nobody has won this yet. But 3 fouls, now 4 for the Broncos, and they almost get caught in another one. Corner 3 offline, speeding down court but missing the take was George Alhaig. Broncos do get the offensive rebound. This is Ochan. Attacks, too strong. Rebound Davis. Only 7 players for the Magic by our estimate. Broncos with the steal, and Johanna Ochan with the follow-through again. He is one of those unsung heroes. He can rack up a big game and you wouldn't know it. LaSalle Davis missing the open look on the other end. Around go the Broncos. It's Ochan, another finger roll, and that timeout may have helped the Broncos settle in because they are flying. Bounce pass, Davis for 3. Off the heel. Alhaig can't secure the rebound. Shot clock is malfunctioning a bit. There we go. 3 from the key, doesn't touch iron. Michiana gets the steal. That was one of their strengths last night, their ability to time passes, but another miss from point-blank range. They'll catch a break as Minnesota couldn't secure the rebound again, but the Magic struggling to finish these open looks. And Trey Dockery, he's in uniform. I'm not sure he'll play. It didn't look like he could after last night's contest, but he's suiting up. His injury looks serious, but I have said in the past, sometimes injuries that look more serious than they are creep up, and vice versa. Here comes Tyon Cruz through the double and in. That was a basketball version of the squeeze play. And it's 9-5, so Michiana able to get points, but we'll have to keep an eye on their ability to finish near the rim. Ochan having no trouble finishing. Another finger roll. He has 8. McCoy fakes, attacks, can't draw the foul. Ochan with the rebound. Johanna cleans things up. Oh, didn't get a firm grip on it. Broncos able to save it for the moment, and unfortunately, they can't save it for long. That play looked like a mess, and that's a reminder of how one slip-up can screw up an entire play. And Michiana playing clock management already? We're not even halfway through the first. I suppose every second counts. Cruz, the dish, the bounce. Marquise Davis looking for a seam, doesn't find one. Short range J in the lane, doesn't go down for Alex Thomas, but second try for the Magic. Around they go, popping the 3. Not there, but Marquise Davis is there for the putback slam. And you may have noticed here at the Salvation Army, I'm not sure what the difference is between this gym and the high school for recording arts, but we do use the 24-second clock, so the possessions will whiz by much more quickly as a result. Ochan looking to penetrate near the rim, can't do it. Marquise Davis with the rebound. McCoy nearly was bumped into by Thomas. Offensive foul. McCoy tried to evade with the spin move, but Trey Freeman, one of the new arrivals, we spoke to him before the game. He wants to use this opportunity to make an impression with college scouts. He's still hoping to play some college ball after moving back from Florida to Minnesota. Offensive fouls, of course, do not count at the pro level in the team tally. Rashad Rainey on the floor, son of Chris Rainey, the Minneapolis North standout. Here's Ochan, hypnotizing the defense with his flourish in the paint. This guy can't miss. Cruz in trouble, finds McCoy. LaSalle Davis, or Famous Davis, spots Thomas, and Alex Thomas gets the friendly roll, 13-9. Ochan with 10 points already. He's not fooling around, and a reach-in foul on Michiana. .609 left in the first. 10 points for Ochan, but you see the score. And if you're having trouble with the math, that means the rest of the team has 3. Another trend to keep an eye on as this game continues, as Ochan takes his first breather. Again, a lot of new faces as they swing it around. That's Rainey looking for a seam from the key. Makes his move as the shot clock was winding down, can't score. New player wearing number 74 now. That's Pierre Fulford. McCoy. Cross court. That's Jose Cardenas. Back out to Davis. Under duress, Rainey with the poke. Broncos have to be careful, though. They're already out of fouls to give. 2 on the shot clock. McCoy draws the foul. He'll shoot 2.
Broncos number 22. Trey Freeman. Magic number 3. McCoy to the line.
McCoy to the line. A reminder, if you're watching this on the TSP Television YouTube channel, our next game and our last game for the month of November will be round 2 of Broncos and Bulldogs. It will be here at the Salvation Army Gym. And that's Gary Lowe having a chat with one of the game officials. And Gary was pointing out that Pierre was not in the proper position. So the first shot will not count. It will be a do-over for McCoy. So the first attempt didn't count. This is the first attempt. Got to make sure everyone's set in their proper positions. McCoy's on the board with 5:29 left in the first. So McCoy making use of the do-over. He'll get credit for both. And again, it had to do with spacing along the foul lane. Rainey, bounce pass. Oh my goodness. I did not think it was possible. But we have a 6-7 who will draw the foul and shoot 2. And I'm going to have some more names to track down. That was ruled a non-shooting foul. Line change subs now. Jeff Ricker and Jose Garcia among them. We told you, Minnesota, the Broncos that is, swapped out half their team. 67 with the miss. Ricker can't get the follow through. Last touch by Michiana. Broncos have it. And with pro rules, as you probably know by now, the shot clock resets to 14 on offensive rebounds or any change of possession in the front court. Fulford fakes, kicks out, touch 3 from the key. Drifting left, offensive foul.
Broncos number 41.
That was a loose ball foul, so free throws for Michiana.
Number 33 for the Magic. Dropping Cardenas. Gets to the line. Shoot 2.
Cardenas will probably be the 6th player who is called upon often, and Trey Dockery's out there. So whatever ailments he had, I thought he wasn't going to be able to play. But he's giving it a go. Maybe it was just a tweak. But this was the 7-player rotation for Michiana. And Kenny Gathright played a couple of minutes. Cardenas makes both, and Michiana off to a better start from the free throw line today than yesterday. 7 of 8. We're tied at 13. Broncos trying to fend off a Michiana run. Remember, Michiana got within 2 before the Bulldogs ran away with it last night at the High School for Recording Arts. Shot clock winding down. Floater did not touch rim. Shot clock violation. Darian Thomas will check in. So will Reggie Rogers. And this is something the Broncos and the Magic, they both have to be cognizant of. That 24-second clock, especially when you're not in the pro leagues, like the NBA, the timing, the cadence, the rhythm might not be there, at least to start. Garcia had an open look, instead goes inside. Now they swing out. Rogers looking to dance in a triple, can't do it. Darian Thomas O-board. Fulford gives it a go. Off the heel. Davis on the run, looking for the floater. Minnesota disrupted him. This is Fulford. Barreling to the rim, but comes up short. Another outlet play for Michiana. Davis looking for the finish. This time, he cashes in. And Michiana takes the lead, 15-13. Rogers. Used up the dribble. Back to Ricker. Rogers again. Foul away from the ball. Hold inside the lane. And Ochan will step in. Let's see if that helps reignite the inside production from the Broncos. Ochan had 10 points before he was subbed out. And notably, the Broncos did not score with him on the bench. Darian Thomas. Now the Broncos having trouble connecting on those looks near the rim. Trey Dockery, he hit a bunch of threes last night. He's a sharpshooter, but that one graces the front iron. Cruz, O-board, goes up with it. Dead ball rebound to the Broncos. 2:44 left in the first quarter. Mike Beaton with you, all by myself, talking to myself. That's Chaos Theory. Ochan. The dump down. Thomas again looking for the foul call. Newton Williams and the Broncos coaching staff, they are going to have some flustered looks, some angst-written expressions with all of the misses down low, and then a foul on the reach-in. That means free throws for the Magic, and free throws have been their specialty so far.
Number 3, Blake McCoy to the line.
Blake McCoy, no field goals. Michiana adding to their lead. At a gym that has some history with men's basketball and some state tournament history as well. This is the home base for Christ Household of Faith. Blake McCoy knocks down the freebies. He's got 4, and Michiana leads by 4. Rogers to Thomas, steps into the 3. Just can't find the rim right now. A few misses down low, and that 3 rims in and out. Dockery looking for the tray. Rebound finds its way to Thomas, but it got a little dicey for a moment. Ochan driving kick. Baseline jumper won't go in for Chu. And the Broncos stuck in a shooting rut. Just one three-pointer from Darian Thomas. And again, they have not scored since Ochan was subbed out earlier in the first quarter. Michiana building up a 4-point lead in the process. That three way off the mark. Broncos nearly lost control of it. Rogers puts a move on Davis and ends the scoring drought. Rogers, last time we were here against the Canada Wild, he was one of the many playmakers. Hoffredding was the big player of the game. McCoy driving kick, 3-ball. Dockery missing from the corner. Cruz catches the high carom and banks it in. Broncos had the box out, but as you know, long shots mean longer caroms. Rogers. Into the slot they go, the kick out, Rogers. Bullseye! Reggie Rogers giving the Broncos much needed support. 1-point game, Cruz under duress. They swing it out, Dockery not giving up on those threes. And he connects on his first one. He had 5 in last night's affair with the Bulldogs, finished with 22 overall. 10 seconds for the Broncos. Time for one more. Rogers to Ochan. 3. Ochan sees the clock. Too strong. And that takes us to the end of one. Michiana able to capitalize on the scoring drop from the Broncos. And they lead by 4, 22-18 after one.
Women's basketball has been around a long time, and we've had so many opportunities, and now we're just continuing to get more.
Susan Shudley makes a great move. Pass to Linda Shudley.
It comes back to just feeling like you're part of a sorority of women. It's really fun to see. There's a lot of pride.
The 90s, late 90s, we was pumping out great women's basketball players. And still to this day, we're still there.
(22-18) the score, and before the second quarter starts, number 27, that's Washington. Number 67, that's Matthew Hoffredding. So changing numbers. Hoffredding, he was a beast in the victory over the Canada Wild. And to me, one of those players who I thought had potential to be a leader on this team. That is Decoy Hines, who misses the bunny down low. The shooting touch has not been there for the Broncos. It's heating up for Trey Dockery, or should I say Hickory Dickory Dockery, because he's clocking in triples at an impressive rate. I'll show myself out now. Again, Rainey, step back 3 along the key. Short, but Ochan, nope, that is Alhaig who collects the rebound. Ball deflected. 8 on the shot clock though, so the Broncos have to go. Freeman. Trapped, and he gets caught in a traveling situation. Michiana, largest lead of the game. And they are in a better spot than they were last night. Again, the Broncos, the new team, so it might take them a while to find their footing. Michiana, they've got some players. Rashad Rainey called for the foul.
Substitution, Minnesota.
Cornell Ayers entering the game. Broncos trying to make that pressure defense work up top. Instead, it creates an opening for Marquise Davis, who connects on the money. And the Magic extend their lead to 9. Broncos had the early start, the early edge. It's the Magic conjuring up tricks left and right. Rainey with the baseline take. That's his first bucket. And that's going to be key for the Broncos getting more players involved. Ochan had 10 points in the quarter. Rainey can't get a handle on it. And a loose ball foul on Hoffrenning. There was a bump. I could understand the call. Hoffrenning having a word, and Cornell Ayers is trying to tell Hoffrenning, forget about it, focus on the next play. It's a good thing this is men's basketball and not high school basketball because, well, they don't allow numbers beyond 55 for one, but if they did, if this were a high school game, Alex Thomas drains the jumper. Here comes Ayers streaking down court. 29-20, Michiana now looking to push. Cruz can't spot a driving lane. Davis to Cardenas. Jose kicks out. Another ball fake, Michiana making it work. 3-ball, corner pocket. Trey Dockery, his third triple. Again, 22 in the game last night before the injury. And Michiana looking to add to their lead. Another turnover, another finish. It's Tyon Cruz. Apropos because Michiana in Cruz control. 9:17 left in the second quarter. And their lead balloons 34-20.
It's more than just BBQ, it's family time. Ella's Smoke Till Ya Choke. Perfect for your Saturday.
Nine minutes, 17 seconds left in the second quarter. NBL coverage on TSB television. We'll be with you all the way through the end of the regular season for sure. After that, we'll have to keep our eyes and ears peeled for playoff coverage. Rashad Rainey brings the ball up. Broncos getting pummeled after they took an early lead. It began with a scoring drought after Ochan was subbed out, and Michiana with another jump. 3-point play awaits Alex Thomas. This is Michiana's strength. We saw them execute it a few times last night in the game against the Bulldogs, but the Bulldogs just had too much firepower all around. We're seeing Michiana execute that steal the transition game much more effectively. And everyone except for LaSalle Davis has scored. No 3-point play, but the lead extends to 16, and Michiana, again, if Michiana sounds unfamiliar, it's a conglomerate as Rashad Rainey fires a 3, is short. It's a conglomerate that makes up Southwest Michigan and the northwest part of Indiana, specifically South Bend. Jose, can you see? Sometimes your layups hypnotize me. All Abe can do is look at me and smirk. I'm sure Jose Cardenas has heard that more than once. First field goal for Cardenas. He had 10 points last night. And with that 3-point play, What a swing of the pendulum. Broncos had the early lead. Now they trail 39-20. Reggie Rogers looking. Looks for a lane, doesn't see one, kicks back out. Shot clock winding down. Ochan to Thomas. The dump down, but a timeout. A timeout. The Broncos will only have 3 seconds when play resumes.
When the high school season is over, TSP Television goes on the highlight trail. Our highlight reels provide you with a valuable resource for recruiters and a keepsake of your favorite athlete. To learn more about our highlight reel services, contact us at tsptelevision@gmail.com.
Interesting choice to use a timeout with the shot clock winding down. Broncos will only have 3 seconds to launch. So whatever they drew up, they've got to go quick. Ochan, what happened? The buzzer went off. The clock is frozen. Doesn't matter because it's an empty possession for the Broncos. Cardenas can't get the finish. But they have utilized their speed to high effect. Ayers jumps over the coverage for the short corner J. Cornell Ayers, his first bucket. And the Broncos, they just need anything. Dockery, cross court to Davis. Now Cruz, 6 on the shot clock. Cruz out of the high post. Davis, I don't think he saw the clock. No, they're going to run out of time. As we said, that 24-second clock means you got to be attentive, cognizant, mindful, because that's not long. 24 seconds is not much time. Earlier in the season, I told you the story of how the 24-second clock came to be. Reggie Rogers racing out for the tip to save that possession. Darian Thomas goes baseline, fouled after the attempt. So he will get a chance to score at the line. Coincidentally, this will be the first trip to the free throw line for the Broncos in this game. Thomas with just 1 3-pointer to his name so far. He blanks. And if you're keeping track so far, Michiana outscoring the Broncos 17-4. But the Broncos apply a little pressure. Ochan can't handle the bounce pass. Now a scramble. I think we're going to get a tie-up, yes. And in this league, we jump. No stinking possession arrow. I've never been a fan of it at the high school or college level. If you ask me, the possession arrow should be killed with fire. But I digress. I guess I can't rant for too long because we will start a new season of high school coverage in just a few weeks on TSB and related platforms. 6:53 left in the second quarter. Should be a whole lot of fun, and it's going to be a balancing act this year because this is the first time where I'll be juggling high school coverage with a full season of NBL coverage as well. But they all add up, they all pay the bills. So I can handle that. As we get a meet-up, it's Cruz and Ochan. And it's Minnesota who wins the tip. A quick 3 goes in for Zay Hayes, number 13. So Hayes is on the board. Thomas. Another pump fake. Drains the 15-footer. Michiana really making those ball fakes work to their benefit. Ochan. He was hypnotizing earlier, but that hypnotic effect appears to be waning. 41-25. Big game. Big quarter for Michiana with 6:19 to go. Broncos already out of fouls to give again. We did note in the first meeting between the Broncos and the Bulldogs, the Broncos were going to have the bigger learning curve because new team, a lot of new faces today. It takes time. Davis, the skip to Thomas, looking for the reverse, and he's got it. Alex Thomas with 12. 8 in this quarter. 43-25. Ochan had the ball, pried from his grip. Gathright comes up with a rock. And on the other side, Cornell Ayers says, enough of this, I'm going to give you a taste of your own medicine. 4 points for Ayers. Gathright. 3 is in and out. Thomas with the rebound. Chance for the Broncos to string some plays together, and instead, Cornell Ayers falls awkwardly. They do give him the shooting motion, so, or do they not? No. Everyone was lining up, but it was a side out.
Substitution. Broncos, number 0, 16.
Hayes with the inbound. Ochan can't get it to go. The lob and the alley-oop turns into an alley-oops. Jose Garcia. Again, one of 8 new players. Tried the bounce pass, and Thomas was held up. He draws the foul. Side out for the Broncos. Hoffrening will check back in. And as we were saying earlier, I hope he had some foresight with the jersey number, because any youngsters who are watching this, they're going to see his number and exclaim, you know what. I feel like that number is the numerical equivalent of Voldemort's if you're a Harry Potter fan. 3 from the corner, doesn't go down for Zay Hayes. Michiana holding on to a 16-point lead. Broncos again applying pressure up top, foul, and the Broncos once again in the penalty.
That is for the Broncos, number 32, Aaron Thomas. Number 21 for the Magic, Alex Thomas gets to the line, shooting 2.
Alex Thomas, 12 points. And again, Michiana making a count at the free throw line. They weren't terrible. They were 27 of 37 last night, but just did not have a defensive response against the Bulldogs. (11 of 14 is the Magic. Jose Garcia, his 3, rattles around the rim. Thomas had the rebound. Last touch by Michiana. That was a break because Hayes didn't realize that Thomas was trying to dump it down to him. Big break. Here's Hoffrening looking to put a move on Thomas as he tries to power his way in. Too strong. Rebound. No. Thought he had the layup. Oh no. Thomas and Hoffrening get tangled up. Thomas holding his leg for the moment. He's up and he's walking it off, but that's always a dicey, tense situation when you get caught up in someone else's space. A lot of sprained ankles have resulted from that, as Nafisa Collier could attest to this past year with the Lynx. 4:28 left in the second. Hoffredding finally gets one to go. (44-29). Thomas took a dribble, has to find another option. McCoy over in the right wing. Lassell Davis. Marquise Davis. Michiana 5 to shoot. They were looking for the 3. Entry pass ricochets off a Broncos player. Rogers will chase down the outlet and lay it in. Reggie Rogers with 7. Lead now 13. Broncos playing more in-your-face defense behind the back pass. Out to Thomas. Marquise Davis. Long 3. Can't connect. Rebound is tipped to Hoffredding. Lassell Davis tried to sneak up from behind. Instead, will be called for the foul. Last to give for Michiana in this quarter. And Hoffredding is lining up, but I did not think that was a shooting foul. And the officials confirm with the scores table that is 4 fouls, so a side out. I didn't think that was a shooting foul, and well, I don't know every single rule. Last time I checked, you get 4 fouls. Well, now we're going to the free throw line. So Hoffredding just got ahead of himself by a few seconds. Hoffredding, though, he had that humongous effort, a dazzling display in the win over the Canada Wild. Just the second trip to the free throw line for the Broncos. And I think a difference between the two, we've seen the Broncos take a more aggressive, a more high-risk approach on defense. You have seen all the pressure applications they attempt to perform up top. And if you're not in the right spot, or if you're caught even just a half step behind, you could find yourself getting tagged for a foul. A split for Hoffredding. Gathright left alone. His 3 is long. Rebound, Washington. Rogers. Hoffredding lays it in. Did the kick-out fake to try to get some extra space, but he knew where he was going. And the lead now 10. Broncos finding their mojo. 3-ball. Thomas goes off the front iron. Kick ball will have a side out for Michiana.
Substitution number 1.
Compared to IGM, who came up here last weekend in just a 1-game tilt with the Bulldogs, Michiana does have the full complement, or a bigger complement, 8 players, usually enough to get you through a game. Entry pass, Hoffredding all over Thomas, and there was just nowhere for Alex Thomas to go. Garcia, touch 3. That would have been big. Hoffredding able to tip the rebound to Rogers. Rogers spin move, he'll shoot 2 with 2:29 left in the quarter. Reggie Rogers, 7 points. Helped the Broncos get out of a rut momentarily at the end of the first, following a lengthy scoring drought. But free throw shooting has proven difficult. A split for the Broncos, but they're just 2 of 6. But the lead is down to 9. They trail by as much as 19, if memory serves. Michiana got open down low by extending their offense out, drawing the defense with them. But instead, it's an empty possession. Reggie Rogers with the kiss off the glass, and the lead is now 7. They trail 39-20. A steal. Eric Chu leaks out. Blocked from behind by Davis. It will stay Broncos ball, but I think it's clear where the momentum is shifting. Rogers will take a breather. I think it's a little early to be proclaiming victory, Mr. Game Day DJ. Fulford, history from the key, rattles out. Dockery launches. Too strong. Rebound, Thomas. He'll shoot 2.
Alex Thomas has to go out right and shooting to the
Alex Thomas with 13 points. Like we said, stamina shouldn't be a factor with 8 players on the Michiana roster traveling for this game. About half the team not here, but not uncommon for road games. Cardenas hustling for the O board. He's too strong. Davis throws it away. Washington can't corral it. Fulford able to retrieve it. Now the Broncos end up turning it over. They weren't quite set either. A little helter-skelter. Toil and trouble on this post-Halloween weekend. Cardenas, Dockery on the take, walled off by the double team that was waiting for him. Some of the passing hasn't been on point for the Broncos, and it's showing. Marquise Davis left alone. He'll throw it down with just under a minute left in the frame. Broncos had a couple of chances to get within 5 or so and strike some fear into Michiana. Fulford's 3, the rainbow, goes off the rim. Now the Magic have a chance to recapture some momentum for their side. That was close, but they stay in bounds. No look dish. Gathright lays it in. Another quick set. Clock stops. Shot clock and game clock identical, so Broncos can hold if they wish. Off Renning, looking for the interior penetration. Instead, Pierre Fulford drains the 3 on the kick out. But Michiana will have time. 5 seconds. Thomas not waiting. Misses. Washington, will he get it off in time? He does, but it's going to be short. It goes into the curtain. So Michiana building a 19-point lead. The Broncos able to cut into that by a degree or two. It's 48-40 as we head to halftime. As we noted, I had a chance to speak with a couple of the Broncos players, 2 of the new faces, Rashad Rainey, who was with the Bulldogs last year, and a brand new member in Trey Freeman. We'll take you to those interviews and come back for the second half This is NBL basketball on TSB television.
Twin Cities sports broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves,
Holloman, good if it goes. Yes!
game winners,
From James, she's in trouble. Finds James, toss shot, it goes in!
and everything in between.
Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. Let's put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching.
We're joined by Rashad Rainey of the Minnesota Broncos. You might remember him as a member of the Bulldogs a year ago. Rashad, you've been hanging around this sport for a long time, so I'll start with the basics. What got you into basketball, and how long have you been in this sport?
I played since I was a kid. I started playing basketball around 3 years old. I went to different sports and stuff and played football, played soccer, and then basketball was just like my first love. So I just got back to basketball, and I've been playing ever since.
Did you have any favorite athletes growing up, or others you looked up to? This could be family, friends, pro, college, you name it.
My dad, Chris Rainey.
He went to North, right?
Yeah, he went to North. Yeah. So my dad, NBA players like LeBron, Tracy McGrady, Kyrie, people like that, So just,
I think that covers it. I remember hearing Chris Rainey when you mentioned him, Larry McKenzie. I covered his North teams, and he mentioned him while I was doing a piece on Tyler Johnson. So funny how this all works. So where did you go to high school, college? What's your background in the sport of basketball? Take us through your journey.
I played varsity in the 7th grade for Roosevelt when I was in 7th grade, and then throughout high school, I went to different high schools and stuff, but I ended up graduating from Minnesota Prep. So that was my, and then I didn't go to college. I took a gap year, and then I ended up meeting these guys. Because my friend Coy, he plays, so he invited me, and they loved me ever since.
What did you learn through that experience? You started at Roosevelt. You mentioned playing at different high schools, so in a way, it's not unlike playing here because you're working with a lot of different teams, a lot of different coaches, and it really is a test of adaptability.
Yeah, it's just, going to different schools, you're just always a new kid, so you learn to adapt and just, be yourself at the end of the day. So they're going to love you for who you are.
What have you enjoyed most about playing in this league? You got a chance to test your mettle with the Bulldogs. You're here with the Broncos, and I saw a lot of them at last night's game. What is it about this league that attracts you and other players to come out here and suit up?
The competition and just playing with people also learning new systems and learning how to play with different people also. Just everybody, some of these guys, we don't know each other, but, we just trying to build a bond with each other throughout the season.
What would you say your time in basketball has taught you? Any values or lessons? Because, as you said, you were a journeyman through high school. Kind of a journeyman here, although in a local sense with the two Minnesota teams. But what have you learned along the way? Because you've been around this sport for a while.
Yeah, just work hard. Just basically just do what you're best at. Basically just bet on yourself, I would say.
And what would you say your best stat when it comes to the basketball court?
I like to pass the ball. So I just say I like to get my teammates involved. I like to see my teammates win. So I like to see my teammates shine. I don't care about scoring a lot of points. I will just pass the ball to my friends. For my teammates, my bad.
I was going to say, so if you see an open teammate, your philosophy is if there's an open player, get in the ball and let him cook, right?
Yeah, of course.
Any favorite moments or memories from your time in basketball, high school up to NBL?
It's a lot. I can't really recall, but it's a lot of memories, a lot of good times. I'll just say being around different people and just teaching me different things. I've been to different states and everything, so it's just learning about different states, different cultures, and just different people. Because everybody comes from different backgrounds, so, you can learn something from everybody.
I've learned that myself in my 20 years of broadcasting. I'll throw this out because I like to do this to remind everybody you're more than just a basketball player. Any hidden secret talents or fun facts, anything about yourself that we wouldn't know if we met you for the first time?
I do YouTube and TikTok. So Yeah, I'm getting back into that. I took a break now because I'm playing semi-pro, but I'm going to get back into it.
Well, you know what? You could clip up your own highlight reel and share that to TikTok. So that way you could get the best of both worlds, if you know what I mean.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
All right. Anyone you want to say hi to before we go?
My dad, my brother, my sister, and my mom. Yeah. I appreciate it.
Rashad, thanks for the time. Have fun today, and thanks for giving us a chance to get to know you a little bit more.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Rashad Rainey of the Minnesota Broncos. You're watching NBL basketball.
It's more than just BBQ, it's family time. Ella's Smoke Till Ya Choke. Perfect for your Saturday.
We're joined by Trey Freeman, another one of the new faces today for the Broncos. So don't let the number confuse you. This isn't Quincy, although I'm sure you could do your best attempt to impersonate him if need be, right?
Oh, yeah. If it's needed and that's what the team needs, I'll do that. I'll do that every time. Yes, sir.
So I asked this of Rashad. I'll ask this of you, Trey. Take us through your basketball journey. What got you in the sport? How long have you been playing, and what do you enjoy most about it?
So I started playing in 8th grade because I liked playing football, and, I played wide receiver for football. So, but then my mom was like, no, concussions, so I couldn't do football no more. So then I started playing 8th grade, started dunking the ball 8th grade, and then I went to Florida, played at Florida for my high school, did JV 1 year, and then the JV varsity, then 2 varsities. I had a big concussion my senior year where I missed out on 15 out of 25 games my senior year. And I kind of stopped playing basketball, but then I got the message, and now I'm here. And I'm ready to play again. So it feels great to get back out and getting back into shape. So I'm just ready to go at it for whatever this team needs and get us the win.
I do find a touch of irony that you were encouraged to play basketball to avoid concussions, and then you get one your senior year. But it's a physical sport. Just because you don't tackle, that's not the object, doesn't mean you don't get down there with the other guys for those loose balls. So when did you come up here, and how have you settled into Minnesota? The weather, I imagine, is a little different this time of year, but what do you make of Minnesota?
So, I grew up in around like North Minneapolis, around Penn Lowry, Columbia Heights, and all that. And then we just didn't want the cold no more, so we went to Florida. And then I did Florida for high school, and hurricanes hit. Money was a problem, so came back home to Minnesota, and yeah, it feels great to get back out here. So it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. Just not looking forward to the winters, that's all.
Well, what do you look forward to? You mentioned you were away from the game for a little while. You heard some friends of yours were playing in this Maximum Basketball League, and now you're suiting up. I don't know how long it's been since your last game, but what do you relish in terms of getting another chance to play after being away from the game for a little while?
To get back into shape, it feels nice, and I love the game of basketball. So when I got the opportunity, it felt like I needed to go and, try out and do my thing. I heard that, there's other teams that look, colleges, I'm still pretty young, so you never know if this could get me into college. And if I get into college off of this, I'd be really grateful. Or if I, do anything else. As far as I know, I'm just going to go out and just have fun, and that's really all I can do, just have fun and play my game. So I'm really looking forward to it.
So Trey, if you don't mind, just have you step a little closer to me so that way you're not leaving the camera frame, because we want to see you. That's what we're here for. Who are your favorite players in the sport of basketball? This could be anybody, pro, college, family, friends, no wrong answer.
So I liked Blake Griffin when I first started watching basketball. I loved the dunks, but then James Harden, when he went to the Rockets, I don't know, I just liked how he played, the ISO. Everything he does is so different, and he changed the game a bit. So that's always been my favorite player. I'll tell you what, though, I want to play better defense than him, but it's always been cool to watch him play and everything he can do. So that's pretty much who I looked at all the players, every NBA player, but James Harden's that special one that I've always looked forward to.
And you spoke perhaps finding a place to play in college. How do you think playing in this league? The season is around the same time as the college season, but how do you think this could help you in case you want to take a peek or gauge interest among the college scouts out there?
So, if I can play and perform, get out there and do right things, get film and everything, make a little mixtape and, get it out to colleges. And if they accept me, they accept me. If they don't, they don't. But, I just think this is a big opportunity because, I'm playing against, grown men, and, it would be good to get out there. And, I think that it could get me to college, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. But, I just love that I'm chasing my dream, so.
And I asked this of Rashad, I'll ask this of you as well. Are there any hidden talents, secret talents, fun facts about you that we wouldn't know if we met you for the first time?
Not really. Basketball is my thing, athleticism. I play the game here and there, but, I don't want to be known for playing the game. So, but basketball is pretty much all I've been doing. I move furniture for work, so, that ain't nothing special, but, just trying to see if I can get basketball to influence my life. If that's getting to college and getting a career off of college for basketball, that'd be great. I'd love that so much, but not much outside of basketball.
Well, you do look like the kind of guy between your vertical and your strength who can move furniture around, so that probably trains you in an unusual or an unexpected sort of way. Moving furniture gets that upper body strength that you need to play this game and get up for those dunks, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It really does. It gets my back strength up and all that. Going up the stairs with, heavy furniture, that's pushing my legs. So, it actually does help and gets me better. But, I tell you what, going to practice straight after work isn't the greatest. I'd rather be, sitting at a desk and then go to practice. But, it does help. I never thought of it that way. But, that's a good way to look at it.
Well, one thing's for sure, I am not going to mess with you, considering your vertical and your upper body strength, all of that. I think you're going to fit right in with the rest of the Broncos. Before we go, you want to say hi to anybody?
I'll just say hey to my mom and dad and my brothers, and I always appreciate them supporting me, and I'll never not be grateful for the support of my family. So, if this gets me out there, I'm going to be very grateful, and I know they'll support me throughout the way, so I reach out to my family.
Well, Trey, thanks for the visit, and have fun out there. We'll look to see if you can throw down a dunk or two, all right?
Hey, if I can, that'll be great. Look forward to it.
All right, thanks again, Trey. Trey Freeman of the Minnesota Broncos. You're watching NBL Basketball.
Women's basketball has been around a long time, and we've had so many opportunities, and now we're just continuing to get more.
Susan Shudley makes a great move. Pass to Linda Shudley.
It comes back to just feeling like you're part of a sorority of women. It's really fun to see. There's a lot of pride.
The 90s, late 90s, we was pumping out great women's basketball players, and still to this day, we're still there.
Mike Beaton. Here I am, all by myself, talking to myself. That's Chaos Theory. It's a line you've probably heard more than once if you are a longtime viewer of my basketball coverage. Michiana leads the Minnesota Broncos 48-40. They did lead by as much as 19, but the Broncos were able to cut into that margin significantly to end the quarter. First half numbers, Ochan still has 10 points, did not score in the second. Reggie Rogers with 10 to lead the Broncos. Michiana, the story, Alex Thomas, 13 points. Trey Dockery with 9, 3 triples. Marquise Davis with 8, Tyon Cruz with 7. And in that second quarter, Matthew Hoffrening picked up a couple of buckets. He's got 5 points. But Michiana, I feel like that run and gun defense of theirs, where they try to get the poke up top, the swipe that leads to a fast break bucket, that really helped them in the first half. For the Broncos, I think they need to just get a little more settled. They looked a little nervous, a little frenetic at times. They missed some buckets down low that probably would have given them a lead, if not a tie. They can't afford that if they want to get above 500. That is what's at stake. A win would put either team who claims that victory above the 500 mark. The Broncos looking to make it 3 in a row, 3 straight victories, that is. Magic got run over by the Bulldogs, trying to change that against the Broncos. And again, our next game will be on Saturday, November 8th. Bulldogs versus Broncos right here at the Salvation Army Gym. Broncos with the ball to start the second half. George Alhag did not score. Looking to change that here, too strong. Rashad Rainey on cleanup duty. And we want to thank him and Trey Freeman for stopping by to chat with us at halftime. Push-out foul on Jeff Ricker. Let's see what Michiana does. Lascelles Davis finds a wide open Marquise Davis. Lascelles had 2 or 3 guys on him, but Marquise was left alone. That's the danger on a double or triple team. Someone else is open if the ball handler can spot him. Alhag strolls to the cup, uncontested. And he's on the board. 50-44 is the score. That was close. Thomas and Cruz. Tyon got a little heated yesterday. And the Broncos chipping away. Alhag with the layup. Shot clock wasn't reset right away, but it's fixed now. 50-44, that is the score. It is correct. No, 50-46. And the Broncos can make it a one-possession game. Rainey harassed by Marquise Davis. And then a loose ball foul on the Broncos. Already 2 quick ones. They got in trouble in the first quarter with those early fouls. And that can stump a comeback bid. Another long skip. The floater too short. And those are the fouls that just really grind at you, really make you go, what? Or as Arsenio would have said, make you go, Those fouls, 84, well, 80, you get what I'm trying to say. Several feet away from your basket. Those are just the silly ones that can pile up and bite you. Touch 3 for Rainey, short. Marquise Davis skies up with the board. Davis looking ahead. McCoy, 15-footer. Off the back iron. Traveling call. Ochan could not fully secure the rebound. And the crowd that's here may not be voluminous in size, but they are making some noise. And at this level, maybe you wouldn't expect the giant crowds, at least not yet. But a lot of options around the cities. Thomas tries again from 15. That one drifts right. Ochan looking for the floater, too strong. Rebound tips its way to Cruz. Bounce pass to Lascelles Davis, who banks it off the glass. Lascelles on the board after going scoreless in the first half. Thomas. Jump ball. He was looking for the foul call. I thought he was going to get tagged for traveling, so not the worst case scenario. But if you're Darian Thomas, not the best case either. 52-46. Ochan calling out. No, Thomas is going to take his spot. Ochan was calling out spacing. And one of the refs has to step in because Marquise note, that was McCoy who noted that Ochan was inside the circle. Only the two players in a jump ball can be within that circle area. Minnesota winning the jump ball. And George Alhag with a quick score in response. Another entry fee for Thomas. Finds its mark. Alex Thomas with 15, 56-48. That is the score. Rainey, the runner. Blocking foul. One official signaling blocking foul. Another having a chat. It's going to be a block or a charge. Cruz is thinking charge. And it is a charge. So take away that bucket. I have to concur with the FAR official who consulted. It looked like a charge to me. I should say I have to concur. I think I said confer. I'd be happy to confer with him, though. I'm always eager to learn more about the ins and outs of basketball. Cruz fouled. He'll shoot 2. A more pedestrian performance for Cruz after lighting it up for 39 last night in the offensive showcase.
Number 12, Tyler Bruce is the line for the Magic, shooting 2.
Cruz 7 points in the first half. In one of the lower scoring games we've had in NBL action. Zion Cruz, you may recall, does take his time, but Michiana's free throw shooting hasn't waned, hasn't cooled off compared to yesterday. They're 13 of 17. Hoffrenning out of the high post, kicks out to Rainey. Foul away from the ball, and it's on the Magic, who lead by 10, 58-48. Both teams with identical records. Hoffrenning goes left and right. Can't get it to go. Cardenas, outlet tip by Rainey, who bounces it off of LaSalle Davis. A heads-up play by Rainey to force the turnover. Impressive work by Rainey. Broncos, after getting pummeled, pelted, trying to work their way back. Rainey's 3 off. High Karam goes to Hoffrenning. His 3 is short. LaSalle Davis collects the board. Doesn't have the numbers, but Marquise Davis was alongside him. Now the Magic working on their spacing. LaSalle tries to windmill that one in. The lengthy Darian Thomas able to scoop it. Rainey to the rim. Rainey with 6. McCoy. Hoffrenning tries to put up the stop sign. Runner offline. Thomas with the rebound. This is another one of those critical junctures, I think. Rainey off the screen fires a 3. Thomas still stuck on 3 points. It has not been his day. Broncos wanted to travel. Instead, Marquise Davis spots up a 3. That's off. Alhaig lost the ball. Thomas hit again. Dead ball. Side out for the Broncos. .6:35 left in the third. Broncos will take a timeout and try to get themselves back on the same page. NBL basketball on TSP television.
When the high school season is over, TSP television goes on the highlight trail. Our highlight reels provide you with a valuable resource for recruiters and a keepsake of your favorite athlete. To learn more about our highlight reel services, contact us at tsptelevision@gmail.com.
58-50 the score, and something new with TSP television recently. We've had some third parties contact us about licensing our video, and if you'd like to do the same for a project you might be working on, you can contact us. Meanwhile, I'll finish our little promo in a second. You can contact us on social media or visit our contact tab on our YouTube channel to find out how you can get access to some of our game video for whatever project you're working on. 58-50. Rogers to Ochan. Lob inside to Alhaig. Another turnaround, another finish. Shot clock went off again, but that was inadvertent. Jose Cardenas goes baseline. Swings it back out. Alhaig picks up on the play and goes streaking. But not that kind of streaking, you naughty viewers. I'm talking a streak down the court for a fast break layup. Alhaig with 10. And he is adding a defensive spark for a Broncos team that trailed by 19. You have to think going into Saturday's match with the Bulldogs, they probably can't afford any big deficits, but it is encouraging as Rainey steps into the 3. Swish! Rashad Rainey makes it a 1-point game. They trail 39-20. There's more pressure defense up top. Magic able to evade it. Cardenas dumps it down. Lascelles Davis left alone, and he draws the foul. That's the double whammy. And a couple times now where the Broncos have been burned by leaving a man open on that backdoor play. That's Latrell Love. He is having some fun. The Broncos players were playfully giving the Bulldogs a hard time. And Ochan didn't track the rebound. He boxed out. Now Michiana can make this an even bigger play. Dockery, 5 to shoot. Rainey rises up for the swat. And Rainey takes it the other way. 1-point game again. Rainey up to 11. He's coming around in this third quarter. On the run, another dump down, another layup. This one from Alex Thomas. 62-59, under 5 to play in the third. What looked like a runaway is turning into a battle of strategery. Ochan still has not scored since the first quarter. Davis finds Thomas again. Thomas amidst the trees. Back-to-back buckets. Minnesota will take another timeout. Alex Thomas, 19 points. And giving Michiana a magic man.
Mic'd Up Sports is TSP Television's talk show series. Available on all major podcast platforms, we offer sports figures, past and present, a place to convey stories and adventures on a deeper level than our traditional game coverage. Whether you're a superstar athlete or someone who works behind the scenes, we'd be honored to share your story. If you'd like to be a guest, contact us at The Mike Peden on all major social platforms.
$64-59, and of course we'll have more NBL games through January. That's when the regular season ends, and then we'll see if we can provide any playoff games as well. Rashad Rainey is walking slowly over to the training area, I think, over to the front desk. Hope he's all right. Reggie Rogers, a little up and under. Rainey was giving this team a spark, and kind of like Ochan in that first quarter after he subbed out. Nearly a steal by Chu, but he couldn't hang on to it. .406 left in the third. In a close, tight battle. Ooh. Rogers briefly stepped over the sideline. Steal, finish, and the foul. Decoy Hines. His first bucket of the game, and he can tie it with a free throw. Decoy Hines and Swinda Kai both went to Minneapolis North, both played for the Bulldogs last year. Decoy Hines ties it, and the Broncos have come all the way back from 19 down. But the game far from over. We still have a quarter and change to play. Short corner Jay. Thomas hit the bucket, foul away from the ball. It's an offensive foul. Or is it a loose ball foul? Both teams out of fouls to give, so it was ruled a loose ball foul. They are counting the bucket for Thomas. But because both teams are in the bonus, and that was ruled a loose ball foul, we're going to shoot free throws. This is Zay Hayes, who has 3 points to his name in this game. And he blanks. Broncos 3 of 9 at the line. Michiana 13 of 19. That could be a big difference in a tight game if we stay close. Cardenas. Had it bounce off his foot. I did see Rashad Rainey make his way back to the bench. Maybe he just needed to use the restroom. So a 2-point game. Here is Rogers directing traffic. Hines, short range, drains it. And we are even again at 66. Broncos again with the pressure up top. Michiana kicks out. Davis, the three, sailing right, and Cardenas was grabbed by Ochan. That means free throws. And with Cardenas at the line, a reminder, since we've had a few parties contact us recently, if you're interested in a licensing arrangement to use our game video from any element of our coverage, NBL, high school, and everything in between, just look for us at the contact tab on our YouTube channel, and we can find a rate that works for you. Cardenas finding a stroke that works for him. Michiana, 15 of 21, so around 70% or so. That's a walk. Hayes lost his grip. Michiana shooting around 70%, a little more than that. Broncos 3 of 9. Big difference. And again, if this game remains tight, Dockery looking to change that. His three goes off the back of the cylinder. Cardenas to Thomas. One-handed slam. Alex Thomas with 23. Darian Thomas says enough of this. Says you can't touch this. And that's another silly foul. Again, the Broncos are playing this aggressive style of defense where they're trying to meet defenders, or assignments that is, near the half-court line, but you gotta keep your wits about you because Dockery's gonna shoot too. And Michiana, they have been outperforming Minnesota, the Broncos that is, with free throw shooting. So Dockery, who had not scored up until this point in the third, at the line. Magic, 17 of 23. That puts him over 75%, or close to it. Reggie Rogers buries the triple. He's got 15, 1-point game. And again, Broncos have to be careful with this full court. That relentless pressure defense. That's the second time Chu's been called for a foul as he bumps into McCoy. When you're trying to work your way back, I'm thinking settle down. You don't always have to poke the ball away. We've seen them time passes. This isn't 2:04 in the fourth quarter. I don't think you need to be this aggressive right now, especially against a team that has been shooting the ball well from the free throw line. They're at the 75% mark now. And now slightly over it, 76 to be precise, after McCoy drains the freebies. Magic nearly tip one out of the Broncos' hands. It will stay with the orange and black team. 74-71. Reggie Rogers trying to will his troops and gets stripped in midair. McCoy handling the rock. Over to Dockery. Look out. Rebound Ochan. Rogers 2-on-2. Eric Chu reverses direction and reverses in. A beautiful finish. Again, got to be careful if you're the Broncos. Ball deflected. The dump down. Cardenas lays it in. I really don't think Minnesota has to get this gutsy, at least not yet. If this were fourth quarter time, I'd say go for it. Thomas, turnaround. Too strong. Cardenas with the rebound. Shakes off Thomas. Wants to take it all the way. Cannot. Cardenas picks up the loose ball. Under a minute to go. Davis, Marquise that is, fouled. He'll shoot 2. This game has taken a while to get through. 48 seconds left in the quarter. And Davis blanks. Missed chance for the Magic. Hoffrening to tie it again. Dead ball rebound to Michiana, 35.9 on the clock. Michiana can't hold for the last shot. McCoy, a circuitous path toward the rim. But once again, the Broncos having a tough time keeping their grip. Thomas, his one-handed grip on full display. That dunk makes it 78-73. Washington into the lane. Got his own miss, kicks out. Time winding down, Garcia's 3 off the heel, and that's it for the end of the... Broncos tie it a couple of times, but the Magic still hold the advantage. They lead 78-73 as we go to the fourth quarter. This is NBL basketball.
It's more than just BBQ, it's family time. Ella's Smoke Till Ya Choke. Perfect for your Saturday.
One more quarter to go on TSB television. For Michiana, this is the Alex Thomas show, 25 points. He had 12 in the fourth quarter. He has been stepping up his scoring every quarter of this game. 4 in the first, 8 in the second, 9 in the second, I should say, 12 in the third. On the Broncos side, Rogers leads with 15. They've been spreading it around. Alhaig with 10, Ocham with 10, Rainey with 11. But the story of the game, I feel, Minnesota, the Broncos not cashing in on those key opportunities where they could take control and move this game in their favor. Tyon Cruz can't get the layup to go. Rainey in traffic. Marquise Davis, the runner, swish. Davis with 12. Michiana looking to go to 3 and 2. Washington left alone. He'll launch a 3 and it's short. Rainey rebound. I think he wanted to draw the foul, but it didn't work out. Remember, a lot of new faces for the Broncos. Hoffrening, he's frustrated, but from here, and our camera on the stage would get a good look at this too. I think he did make contact with the arm. That's a foul that I'd be okay with calling. Of course, I'm not up here, so I can say whatever I want. Trey Dockery has 11 points. Again, had to miss the final few minutes of the game with the Bulldogs after what looked like a right ankle injury, right foot injury of some sort. but he makes both free throws. Michiana 21 of 29, Minnesota 3 of 9. We said this before, close game. That may work against the Broncos. Rainey, runner looked a little out of control. Don't know if he was hit or if he just lost his balance. Now that is something we haven't seen often. A take that leads to a free throw trip for Cornell Ayers, who has 4. Broncos tied it up a couple of times in the third, but they have not led since early in the first. But a good game here. And as we make our way through the NBL season, I know the Bulldogs have a game with the Chicago Legends planned, as Ayers misses both. Chicago, last year's champions. You have to think that game will have significance in seeding and rankings. Foul on the Broncos. And a couple of Michigan teams will come here. Trey Dockery stripped. Hoffrening tried the outlet, but it bounced off the backboard. He's tagged for the foul, bumping into Cruz. Hoffrening didn't realize that the backboard was right on top of him. And Tyon, who has just 9 today, doesn't look like he'll follow up on that 39-point explosion, or I should say that 39-point magic show. Cruz missing the front end. And although Michiana has fared better at the free throw line by a wide margin, some of their misses maybe keeping the Broncos in this. We still have plenty of time left in this game. Reggie Rogers left alone, 3-ball corner pocket. That's an example, 83-76. And still over 10 minutes to go. Dockery, quick release. 3 goes off the back of the iron. That will be a foul on Cardenas. Tried to get the tie up, but Ochan had the positioning.
Substitution.
Stop for the Broncos after the foul on Cardenas. That's how they were able to rally back in that second and third quarter. Rogers again, feeling it. The left corner, his sweet spot. And 2 threes makes it a 4-point game again. Rogers with 21. Steal by Rainey. What will he do? It's a 2-on-1. Can't get it. Rogers had set up in the corner. Ayers lost it. Again, we're just seeing these little moments of mishap. That will be an inbound for Michiana. Just those little moments where the synchronicity is not quite there. And remember, 8 new players for the Broncos today. So you have to mesh them with the rest of the troop. That's not easy to do. Last foul to give for the Broncos with 9:16 left in the fourth. Means a couple of things. We could be here for a little while, but it also means Michiana could keep enough distance by virtue of their frequent free throw shooting. They're a team that attacks and draws a lot of fouls, as we saw last night with the Broncos, or the Bulldogs, I should say. No different here as Tyon Cruz, his three, clanks off the back iron again. Ball will stay with the Broncos. And the shot clock, I guess, hadn't been set. Break for the Broncos. Officials having a conference. Not sure what that was about. Might have been a shot clock situation. That's probably what it was, because I'm looking at the clock now. Rainey with the rock. Chance to make this a one-possession game again. 6 to shoot. Rainey goes on the kick out. Halfway down. Alhaig couldn't put it down, though. Michiana up. Going for the outlet pass. Look out. Who's this on? It's a blocking foul on Michiana. And they only have one more to give with 8.5 to play in the fourth. Then a reach-in on Gathright, so both teams out of fouls to give, but as I've said, this situation would likely favor Michiana. They have fared much better at the line. They're 22 of 31. The Broncos 3 of 11. That's a 19-point difference. And the Broncos would be flirting with a tie or a lead if even a few more of their free throws go in. Ochan with the power move. First bucket since the first quarter for Ioana Ochan. And it's 83-81, 8 in a row for the Broncos. Rainey swoops in for the takeaway. Alhaig looking for the tie. His pocket was briefly picked by Davis, and that will give Michiana a chance to set up defensively. Aaron throw. A three is there. Alex Thomas, the man of the match, at least on the Michiana side. Ochan, the step through. Thought he had it, but couldn't put it through. Cruz, charge. Rainey, I'll say this. He has become more attentive, more explosive, more influential as the game has worn on. But he's been around this game for a while. It's an offensive foul, so we have to wipe up a wet spot. And again, at any level, offensive fouls count as team control, so no free throws awarded. It also doesn't affect the foul tally. But again, both teams out of fouls to give anyway. Now Michiana applying some full court press. Broncos break it. Alhaig trying to lob it to Thomas. Thomas on Thomas. Turnaround won't go down, and that was tipped by Michiana. Or was it? No, it was not. I was slightly perplexed. I didn't think it was Minnesota ball in that instance. (86-81). All I can say is it wasn't me. I'll show myself out again. Cruz into the lane. Heavy traffic. Thomas will get fouled and shoot 2. Right move by Thomas. Use the pump fake to draw the defense out. He got Washington to take the bait. And Alex Thomas misses the front end. Like we said, even though the Magic have played better at the free throw line, that doesn't mean these free throws don't matter. Because if you miss enough of them, they might stack up. Kind of like what happened last night with the Blue Jays and Dodgers in Game 7 of the World Series. Toronto had the early lead, but gave up enough solo homers to cede their chance at their first World Series of the millennium slip away. Split for Thomas, the run-in for Alhay. And it's now a 4-point margin. This is what we're talking about. Splits at the line. Broncos get buckets on the other end. Steal near midcourt. Uh-oh. That is where communication is crucial. That is a play you need to come away with points on. Shu and Alhay not aware of each other in space. You got to call that out. Michiana. They end up throwing it away too. So no harm, no foul. And you have to wonder if the concentration for both teams is starting to deteriorate a little bit. It's been close for most of this game. Rogers looked like a tough 3 from my vantage point. McCoy had it pinballed around. Rogers fouled by LaSalle Davis. I should say Thomas was fouled by Davis. Rogers threw the ball to him. This game's happening so fast, I can hardly keep up.
Broncos number 32, Trey Thomas. Gets to the line. Shooting 2.
The Michiana fans trying to bring the noise now. Darian Thomas. It has been a struggle. A skate uphill, in the words of Blade. But he sinks the free throws. 2-point game, 87-85. Thomas with 7. 8-second call. Michiana too slow, bringing it up. And the Broncos didn't even apply full court. Remember, we play with NBA rules. Now the Broncos can tie or take the lead. They've tied a couple of times in the third. Chu, the kick out. Alhay for the lead. Off the rim. Cruz had it bounce off his heel. Broncos have it. Ochan traveled, I think he tried to play a little too much hero ball. 5:26 to go. Cruz pulls up, too short. Dead ball rebound for Michiana. Inside pass. End up going behind LaSalle Davis. Broncos going outlet. Darian Thomas flushes it for the tie. Timeout. Michiana. 87. And now words being exchanged. So the extracurriculars are rising. All I can say, if I were Gene Wilder's portrayal of Willy Wonka, the suspense is killing me. I hope it'll last.
Twin City Sports Broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves.
Holloman, good if it goes. Yes!
Game winners.
James, she's in trouble. Finds James. Toss shot! It goes in!
And everything in between. Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. That put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching.
So, a technical was assessed. I don't know to whom. So we will have a free throw for Tyon Cruz. And that will give Michiana the lead again. It wasn't announced, but I think a technical or it would be a clear path because the timeout was called. I think what happened, a couple of Broncos players got into it. You saw a little skirmish near midcourt. Now what's going on? Shot clock had to get reset. That's what it was. Because Michiana had the ball in the front court. Short corner jumper. McCoy gets his own miss. Cardenas swings it out to LaSalle Davis. Big chance for Michiana to build a sizable lead. Dead ball rebound to the Broncos. With 4:43 to go. Still plenty of time. In a suspenseful finish to this one. Darian Thomas gets the bank to drop. Darian Thomas coming around after struggling mightily. Alhay going for the takeaway. We're even at 89. McCoy into the lane. Doesn't see an opening. LaSalle Davis goes across and drains the runner. Another technical, this one on Davis. I guess he was strutting, celebrating a little too much. And now Minnesota will get to shoot a technical. It will be Darian Thomas. So a technical on the Broncos, now a technical on the Magic and Lascelles Davis. Thomas makes both free throws. And the Broncos will get the ball beyond half court. Thomas launches. His follow through came up a little awkwardly. Cruz draws contact, muscles the layup home anyway. Michiana back in front, 93-91. Hoffrening. Long skip, nearly taken away. Rogers. Back out to Thomas. Eric Chu. Everyone bunched up. Traveling call. Cruz is saying I was fouled by Hoffrening. But it's a stop for the Broncos, 93-91. Hoffrening. A wild shot goes in. I thought he was trapped. He found a way out of it. Jump ball, Rainey with the reach. How many ties have the Broncos tallied? Can they find a way to get in front? Tip off at center court. That was a mess. Hoffrening got it. Rainey for the follow through. First lead for the Broncos since the first quarter. McCoy bounces it. We're letting some bumps play out now. Cruz kicks out. 6 on the shot clock. Last touch by the Broncos. Magic will have 5 seconds to conjure up a spell. A spell, an illusion, or is this going the other way? It will stay here. The officials are having a conference, and anytime there's a conference, they're always watching. 2:52 and a 2-point game. Catch and shoot 3 doesn't go down. It will be Broncos ball. Rogers wincing after that one. Longest game of the season in terms of length, but in a tight one, you might expect that. I'm used to covering so many Bulldogs blowouts that we usually wrap up a little sooner. Rainey over to Thomas. Hoffrening, spin move, gets his own miss and flips it back. Hoffrening with 9. Oh, that was close. Thomas was dangerously close to the sideline. Mid-range J is there. Alex Thomas with 31, just 6 in the fourth though. Rainey To a cutting Alhag. Off running! Good morning, St. Paul. Off running with 11. 99-95. Thomas. Backdoor. Cardenas, yes. What a photo finish on tap here. Rainey missed the three. Racing in for cleanup duty is Darian Thomas. What a fourth quarter. The other Thomas wants the three. It goes in and out. Loose ball. And I think we're going to have a tie up. Rogers will help up Cardenas. And we'll have a jump ball here with 1 minute and 33 seconds. Darian Thomas, 3 points through 3 quarters. He has 12 now, and Rogers will check out. But the Broncos, they were dead to rights a couple hours ago, it seemed. They trailed by 19. And they are closing in with a chance to win it. But nobody has won this yet. Rogers has to check back in. And that's because he has to perform the jump ball. He was able to get a brief breather, but that's got to be tough. He and Cardenas shake hands. A gesture of gentlemanly sportsmanship right before a jump ball. Rogers wins the tip, but he's got to play. Oh, and he's gimping. He's going to fire the three. Hoffrening, rebound, put back. You talk about tough grit. You just saw it there. Hoffrening, he has 8 in the fourth quarter. 3 ball. McCoy can't knock it down. Broncos can ice it, but they'll take a timeout. I think to get Rogers, yeah, they got to get him out of there. Broncos ball, 103-97. They have a chance to ice it after the timeout.
Mic'd Up Sports is TSP Television's talk show series. Available on all major podcast platforms, we offer sports figures, past and present, a place to convey stories and adventures on a deeper level than our traditional game coverage. Whether you're a superstar athlete or someone who works behind the scenes, we'd be honored to share your story. If you'd like to be a guest, contact us at The Mike Peden on all major social platforms.
It's taken a while for us to get here, but the wait may be worth it as the Broncos look to make it 3 straight victories heading into their second meeting with the Minnesota Bulldogs on Saturday. They've got the ball. They call timeout to get Reggie Rogers out of there. I'm not sure we'll see him play for the rest of this one. Rogers with 21. Instrumental in this comeback bid for the Bulldogs. That was Fulford. Broncos will work the clock. Rainey working off the screen. 8 to shoot. There's the foul. And with 46 seconds left, Alhag could ice it here if he can get at least one and make it a 3-possession game. The prospect was highly inconceivable back in the second quarter, but this is why you keep plugging away. And remember those misses we were talking about? Michiana 25 of 35. Broncos at least getting to a more respectable figure. Well, I don't know if the 50s are great, but it's a lot better than 3 of 11. In fact, they've made their last 6 at the line to take an 8-point lead. And if Michiana can't score in this possession, foul on Ochan. That may benefit Michiana because they can score with the clock stopped and keep a pathway open. Cardenas. Makes the first. That gives him 12. This would be another dose of cruel irony if Michiana can't get the win despite having a 30-point score in their weekend games. It's a split. So that means it's still a 3-possession game, and now you have to play the foul and chase game if you're Michiana. Broncos about to secure a comeback win after trailing by 19. George Alhaig can't make this any more than a 3-possession game, but can still give the Broncos the separation they need. Alhaig with 15 points. And just like the Bulldogs' victory last night, Rogers with 21. He's at the scores table. Looks like he is ready to go if needed, but I don't think his services will be required. And how about clutch? Broncos make 8 in a row at the free throw line after going 3 and 11. 3 is offline. Rebound Cardenas, short, and the Magic fizzling out. It's going to be a win for the Broncos. Hines won't get the dagger, but it won't matter. They trailed by 19. They were listless all over the place. They emerge in the fourth and will score a comeback win over a quality opponent. 107-98 the final. And for the second straight game, the Magic suffer a defeat despite a 30-point game from one of their brethren. Alex Thomas with the game-high 31, but it was not enough. Cruz with 14, Dockery with 13. And on the Broncos side, Reggie Rogers with 21, George Alhaig with 16, Darian Thomas 15, Matthew Hoffrenning 13 off the bench, Rashad Rainey 13 off the bench. Darian Thomas, 12 points in the fourth quarter after a series of miscues, misadventures. His turnaround, a big reason for the victory. 107-98 the final. The Broncos go to 3-2 with a big meeting against the Bulldogs coming up. We'd like to thank you for watching this edition of NBL Basketball on TSB Television. Hope you have your popcorn ready for next Saturday, but until then, this is Mike Beaton saying we'll see you next time.